Like, okay, I'm really sorry for the glitch. So there was some technical issue. That's why you couldn't hear my voice. Now I have to start it again since I found it that the information could not be delivered to you. All right. No problem. So today I'm going to start with the soils and the forest. And with respect to that, I'll first get into the history of how the formation of the Himalayas have taken place. And then we'll come to the soil, because in that way you can interconnect the things, why and how the soils are formed here, and how why this kind of particular soil is only found in Uttarakhand. Why not laterite? Why not the red and yellow soil, right? So in order to understand, there is a factual thing and there is a conceptual thing, right? So here I will be telling you the background first, and then you can connect your the facts. So the first thing is why Himalayas are basically divided. Why they are divided into three ranges altogether. And first and the foremost thing is how Himalayas are being formed, right? The first thing is that if a lot of people have gone through the GS syllabus and would have learned about the continental drift theory, they would have seen that the Gondwana drift theory, what is that? So basically, your India was drifting towards north, and when it drifted towards the north and it collided with the Eurasian plate, there was a formation of Himalayas. This formation of Himalayas took place in the tertiary period. So if I talk about the whole Himalayas ranges, it has been formed in the tertiary period. But particularly, if I have to talk about the very first range, this one, this has been formed first. Later has this has been formed, and after that the Shivaliks, which is the outer Himalaya, that has been formed. So yes, they all together come in the tertiary period, but they are also being bifurcated into the three parts. The newest one would be your Shivaliks, but the oldest one among them is your Greater Himalayas. Your Greater Himalayas, which is the very first one, is also known as Himadri. Another name for Greater Himalayas is Himadri. Next is Middle Himalayas, or you call it as Lesser Himalayas, or you call it as Lesser Himalayas. After that, there is Outer Himalayas, and very popularly they are known as Shivaliks. They are very popularly known as Shivaliks, right? So herein we are having the three parts. The first one is Greater Himalayas, then we are having the Middle Himalayas, and after that we are having the Outer Himalayas, right? So the first and the newest one which has been formed, the youngest, although the whole Himalayan range has been known as the youngest full mountain, but out of all three, the whole Himalayan range has been known as the youngest full mountains, but out of all three, which is the newest one, is the Shivaliks. And if you see the average heights of all three, the Great Himalayas is having an average height of 6,000 meter, right? This is the maximum out of all three. 6,000 meter, middle is having 3,500 to 4,000 meter. Then the Shivaliks are having 600 to 900 meter. So this is how the range has been divided, right? So now the question is, which all ranges are passing through the Uttarakhand? So the first range which is passing through the Uttarakhand is, whether one range is passing or all three ranges are passing, that is important to know. So the range which is passing through the Uttarakhand are Greater Himalayas, Middle Himalayas, and Shivaliks. All of these are passed through the Uttarakhand. And why? See the orientation, it is not running parallelly in the straight line. The orientation is not like this. It is in fact like this. That's why all the parts, there are certain portion of all the ranges which have been covered in this particular location, Uttarakhand. Okay. Next is why this area is having a different kind of soils. So when I talk about the soils, what I would prefer, so as you know, the weathering of the soil, weathering of the rocks, that causes the soil formation. Now the soil type depends upon what was your parent material, right? What was your parent material, whether it is acidic, whether it is has been leached, whether the amount of the organic matter which is present in that. So all of this together will build a certain kind of a soil over there. And therefore in Uttarakhand specifically, we are having different types of soil. For example, they're also having the Tarai soil, they're having the mountainous and the forest soil, they're also having the podzolic soil. So all of this is present because of all kind of varieties which are present over there. So first kind of a soil that we are having is, write down, alluvial soil. So this soil, we'll also see the characteristics of this soil, and also we'll look into the vegetation of this area. Alluvial soil. So this soil is basically found in the most regions of Terai, right? So Terai is a region which is most cultivable, it's most fertile, and this particular soil, if you see that 40% of the Indian soil is constituted of alluvial soil. And looking at its characteristics, it is highly fertile. It is highly fertile and one of the apt soil for the agricultural productivity. It is one of the apt soil for agricultural productivity, right? Write down. Write down. It's found in Terai. It's found in Terai, in Doon Valley and river valleys. It is found in Terai. Where it is found, just take down the few points. It is found in Terai. It is found in Doon Valley and river valley. How it has been formed? It has been formed by the river deposit. What is the main cause for the formation of this kind of soil? Through the river deposits. The young, youthful stage of the river is bringing what? Why youthful? Because it is coming from the glaciers, right? And when it is coming from the glacier, it will come with a maximum speed. It will bring in a lot of fresh water, and apart from that, weathering will take place. It is at the higher elevation, and the next reason is it is at the higher elevation, right? It will bring in a lot of deposit with it, silt, sediment, etc., and it will deposit in the later part, in the lower part of the area, and when it will deposit in the lower part of India, this will lead into the formation of alluvial soil, right? And this is how it has been formed. Now, right now, the next type of the soil that we are having is mountain and forest soil. Mountain and forest soil. Now, the very popular mountain and forest soil, why? Because the area is quite rich in the vegetation as well, right? This mountain and forest soil, right down, it's found in the higher hilly regions, where mountains and forest soil have been found in the higher hilly regions. Right down, formed in the higher hilly regions, formed in the higher hilly regions. It is formed in the higher hilly regions and through weathering of the rocks. How they have been formed? Through weathering of the rocks. What are its characteristics? It is thin, it is immature, right? Why it is immature? Yes, correct. So it is thin, it is immature, it is rich in organic matter. It is thin, it is immature, it is rich in organic matter. Forest soils are always going to be rich in organic matter. Next, it is prone to erosion. It is prone to erosion. Rich in organic matter. Why prone to erosion? Because it is at a higher elevation. When it is at a higher elevation, it is having a steep gradient. Whenever any area is having a steep gradient, it is always going to be prone to high erosion. And whenever you will have the gentle gradient, a flat kind of a gradient, the erosion would become less possible in these regions, right? Next, write down brown forest soil. Next kind of soil is brown forest soil. Brown forest soil. Now, this kind of soil, which is found brown forest soil, is found between mountainous soil. It is found between mountainous soil and alluvial soil, where it is found in between of alluvial soil and mountainous soil, right? So it is found between alluvial soil and mountainous soil. So basically it's a mid altitude soil. It is found in a mid altitude region. It is found in a mid altitude region. Next point, it is developed under forest cover. It is developed under forest cover and it is rich in humus. It is developed under forest cover and it is rich in humus and organic matter. It is rich in humus and organic matter, right? Okay. The next kind of a soil that we are having is a bhabar soil. Write on the next bhabar soil. These two soils which we are going to discuss, bhabar and terai, they are important. Next is your bhabar soil. So bhabar soil is basically having the pebbles, gravels in this, the type of a soil that it will have. It will have pebbles, it will have gravels. So basically the particles will be little bigger in size, and such kind of soil, if you can see, they are not apt for agriculture purpose. They are not apt for agricultural purpose. Write down. Bhabar soil found in foothill regions of south of Himalaya. Write down the region. It is found in the foothills region of Himalayas. And the characteristics are, what do you call such type of soil, such type of particles as pores. And such type of soil contains coarse and gravelly particles, Gravely, gravelly particles. They contain gravelly particles. They will have pebbles, they will have gravels, they will have the bigger particles of silt, etc. All of this will be there, right? Obviously, it will have a very low fertility and it's not at all good for the agricultural purposes. What is the main reason for this not performing well in agriculture? Because since the size particles are not very small, so what will happen? There is going to be a lot of spaces between them. And the moment the water will come from the higher elevation to here, that will actually sink in between the particles which are present between the pebbles and it will go underground. So when the water disappears, because the permeability of this area is very high, right? And the water will disappear when there is no water present on the surface level. How you will be able to retain the water at the surface level? Then water retention capacity will decrease, and the moment your water retention capacity will decrease over here, there is no productivity. Okay, so water quality is not good, right? So low fertility and water decreases, water disappears underground, and water disappears underground. Next, write down terai soil. This is one of the best soil for the cultivation apart from the alluvial soil. Write down terai soil. Write down. Found in south of Bhabar region, just next to it, just next to the Bhabar region, we are having a terai soil. So write down found south of the Bhabar region. What are the characteristics? This is moist and fertile. It is moist and fertile. It is moist and fertile. It is marshy. It is marshy. Rich in humus. It is marshy, M-A-R-S-H-Y, marshy, and rich in humus, and excellent for agriculture. And excellent for agriculture. Always remember, with respect to these kind of soil, paddy cultivation is excellent in these areas. Then the cultivation of sugarcane can also be done in these areas, right? When I talk about the mid-level soils, for example, if talk about the forest soil or the mountain forest soil, what can be done over here? Tea cultivation or horticulture. Your basically fruits, apples, etc. can be grown very well over here, right? For because the kind of a requirement for each crop is different, right? So what we can grow over here, it's good for the paddy cultivation, your tarai and alluvial soils, but for the mountainous soil and the brown soil, you can grow over there the tea, apples, orchids, etc. Right? Okay. Now we'll further look into the forest ecosystem of Uttarakhand. How is the forest ecosystem? So the maximum area of the Uttarakhand, basically 40% of the area is rich in dense forest, and there are very prominent biosphere reserves also. Biosphere reserve, just for the information background, it has been launched by, it is initiated by UNESCO, and the areas are designated by UNESCO only under their men and biosphere program. So Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve is a very prominent place over here. Please mention this. Right on Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve. Location is Chamoli, Almora. It is situated in which region? Gharwal region. It is situated in Gharwal region. It is situated in Gharwal region. Okay. Apart from that, another feature that we have is Valleys of Flower National Park. That is also situated here. Valleys of Flower National Park. And important fauna which is found over here are important fauna to be found over here are, write down, snow leopard, which is important one. Then we have Himalayan musk deer, blue ship, blue ship, and Himalayan black bear. Himalayan musk deer, blue ship, and Himalayan black bear. Right? I'll suggest you to look into the IUCN status of all of them because that is important. What is the IUCN status of all of them? All the species which I have mentioned over here, right? Next, there is a very important bird sanctuary also, musk deer sanctuary also over here. Write down Escott musk deer sanctuary. Just after the deer, where you have written the musk deer, write down here. There is a Escott musk deer sanctuary. There is a Escott musk deer sanctuary. Location is again Pithogarh, right? Pithogarh. Next, write down what are the types of the forest which are found here. Write down the types of the forest. Types of the forest found. So if you talk about the areas which are at the lower elevation, wherein we are going to find the tropical deciduous forest only, right? The way it has been found in the location, for example, in southern India, in the central part of the India, where most of the area we find what? We find tropical deciduous forest. So write down tropical moist deciduous forest are found here in the lower region. Tropical moist deciduous forest are found in the lower region, in the lower elevation areas, right? For example, in Tarai region and Bhabar region, that is the lowest elevation. And what are the main trees over here? Teak, shisham, bamboo. Teak, shisham, bamboo that can be grown, right? Next, write down subtropical pine forest. Next is your subtropical pine forest. It is found at the location of your subtropical pine forest is found at the location of, write down what is the elevation range where they are found, which is between 1000 to 2000 meter. They are found at the height of 1000 to 2000 meter, right? And what are the characteristics? They will have the needle shaped leaves, they are found on the dry slopes. So all of this will be there, all of this will be there. The very popular one which is grown over here is chir pine. The kind of a vegetation, the kind of a plant which is grown here is chir pine, right? Okay. The last forest type that we are discussing over here is Himalayan moist temperate forest. Himalayan moist temperate forest, which is lying at 1500. Himalayan moist temperate forest, which is lying at 1500 to 3000 meter. Himalayan moist write down Himalayan moist temperate forest found at 1500 to 3000 elevation, meter elevation. Here we will find oak, deodar, rhododendrons, walnut, chestnut, all of which is quite popular. Oak, rhododendrons, then there is a very common, even chip pine can be found over here, right? Very popular one. Then write down about deodar, walnut, chestnut, they all can be found over here, right? Okay. So this is about the forest and the soil of the Uttarakhand. And apart from that, the prelims questions are very important. Basically, from soil and the forest, many of the questions can come. And apart from this, you can also practice the fauna and the flora of the area. Thank you so much.